What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Journey podcast. I have a special guest here, Arella Guirantes. She plays at Rutgers University, and she's going to be a projected lottery pick in next year's WNBA Draft. So welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Definitely. So just a little intro. I want to talk about the last time I saw you. It's kind of funny. I never said anything to you about it, but when we worked out at LA Fitness, I remember I called Steve after, and I was like, yo, like, I'm embarrassed where I'm doing the workout and you're chasing my rebounds everywhere and you did not miss. It was like, you shooting 10 for 10 every spot. I'm like, damn, like, I feel bad, like you're running around for the rebound shit. But so it definitely shows that you know, are consistent with your craft. But I want to talk about how big of an influence did, you know, your parents have growing up, putting the ball in your hands, and you know, I know your dad's very involved and mom and stuff. So, you know, how big of a role did they play in choosing basketball?
Well, I come from a basketball family, kind of. My dad, he played in high school. My mom, she actually played at Stony Brook, and she played with Sue Wicks in Cinema Riches, which was a Rutgers legend. I actually just beat her free throw record at Rutgers. But yeah, she's a Rutgers legend. She was National Player of the Year, all that. And basically it was like bound for me to pick up a ball because my parents, they were both into coaching at the time, so I was always around it. And I just remember my dad coaching the JV and the varsity's men's team at Bellport, and I was just always around the game, and I just kind of just naturally gravitated towards it. So at first, my dad, he's like, nah, you're not serious about it, but I'm young, so he's like, you're not serious about it, I'll let you, you know, be around it, but I'm not gonna train you and like push you, because no parent wants to, you know, be that parent to drive their children and seem like that strict person. So I actually would just beg my mom and my grandfather, well, he's like my grandfather, to put me into, you know, CYO, into all that stuff, and just be on the floor. And I would be, you know, hustling, trying to have my dad and my grandpa pass me the ball at Pace Park at nighttime. And from there, my dad just seemed like I wouldn't stop. Yeah. Like I would just keep, you know, nagging him on, and he just was like, all right, you're serious, so we're just gonna take it to the next level. Yeah, no,
that's good. You see a lot when, you know, parents push it on their kids and it makes them not want to do it. Yeah. So he saw that you were, you know, serious, and that was good. And
it kind of has been just like our family bonding, just being around sports, being around basketball. It just brings us closer. We get a lot more done. We kind of hash out all our problems on the court too. Okay. So it's pretty cool being a basketball family and all. We're not like the ball family or nothing like that, but you know, we do what works for us, and they've been non-supportive. I mean, not non-supportive. They've nothing but supportive for the last like 18 years of my life, just constantly putting in effort, putting in money, you know. That takes a lot. It really takes a lot, and it's a lot of sacrifice, and you know, I'm nothing but grateful for it.
Yeah, no, that's great. Another thing I wanted to touch on was, obviously you work out a lot. So how do you feel in today's time where people feel the need to post everything they do with working out? Yeah. And I think I saw you talked about something about that recently on Twitter or something like that. But everyone feels like if you don't post it or you're not showing what you're doing, you're not doing anything. Yeah. And like, your work shows for itself, and you rarely see anything that you're doing behind the scenes, but on ESPN and stuff like that, it's obvious that you're doing that. So how do you feel about that, where people think that you have to post stuff that you do? And
I'm not against it. Yeah. I just, you know, I personally don't agree with posting everything I do, because, you know, I have 3-4 people coming at me in help defense and all that stuff. If I'm posting every move that I'm doing, it's like you're giving them free scout tape. Like, you're giving free scout tape online. I'm pretty sure nobody will, you know, use it towards. But if you're getting real competitive, I know I would. Like if you're posting all your workouts, yeah, I would watch to see like everything you're doing. So that's why I don't post it. I feel like, you know, the people that do, you know, do what you want, really.
Yeah.
I think some people do it for validation to show people like, you know, I'm not falling off, I'm not falling off.
Look at me.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like it, because I feel it's more like for themselves rather than, because you don't need to do it, you know what I mean? And to me, like the best people, you see the best basketball, but they don't post it. You don't see the people that, I mean, LeBron James, sure, he posts his workouts here and there, but he's not showing everything he's doing. And, you know, and that trickles down to the rest of them. The best, they don't post what they're doing.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's multiple reasons behind it, but yeah, I feel like if I want to be the best and that's what I'm going towards, then I don't need to be posting everything I'm doing. People don't need to know every move. That's why, you know, people are always on their toes with me. They're like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Half of the time, well, 90% of the time I'm working out. It's just I'm posting that 10% that I'm not working out.
Right.
So it looks like I'm having the best time of my life, and really I've done worked out like four times already.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. So high school, you're Bellport legend, pretty much. All-time leading scorer there.
Yeah.
All-time leading scorer, probably what, rebound?
I'm not sure on the rebounds,
I'm
but
sure.
I did average like 17 though.
So how was high school, that experience, just from obviously you playing in the Big 12 and the Big 10, just the level of Long Island basketball, how was that?
I feel like people don't take it as serious because they feel like we come from a softer place in New York, but really Long Island has some of the best basketball players.
Yeah.
Growing up in high school, I feel like if I would have went anywhere else, I wouldn't be the same player.
No?
If I didn't go through, you know, learning how to separate double teams, find angles, all that stuff, high school was very stressful, you know, because I didn't have great role players around me. So it was like I was doing it all, but that was really the best for my development.
Right.
And then going to IMG, it was like kind of that, but in a more kind of college setting. So it was like everything prepared me for college. So even though I was always working out to be a pro basketball player, just the experience like of being an all-around developed player, that's what high school made me. You know, I could have played at St. Anthony's, I could have played on those great teams and stuff, but it wouldn't have made me, it would have kept me in a box, kind of.
No, and I see that a lot. You want to be like a big fish in a small pond rather than a small fish in a big pond. And, you know, not that you would have fit in other schools, but like this really put all the pressure on you, and it made you, it brought the best out of you in a situation where you weren't relying on other people. It was like you had to do it, or it wasn't, you know, you weren't going to win, or so I mean, it was
strictly for development purpose. Like you have to know how to do it all. You can't just
be one-dimensional.
You can't be one-dimensional. You have to know how to do it all, and I know how to, you know, be versatile and stuff on the court and have bigger impacts than just scoring, you know, rebounding and stuff. I can see a lot more things because I've went through that phase in high school. Yeah,
no, that's huge. So graduated 2015, and then what made you, you know, decide to reclassify and go to IMG and, you know, do one more year of prep before you got to that level?
At first, I was thinking, because I didn't know where I wanted to go to college.
So how was, before we get on that, so how was the recruitment like coming out of Bellport?
It was pretty much the same as coming out of at IMG. Okay. It was pretty much the same. They just added a couple more offers. Like I think LSU came when I went to IMG. But other than that, I pretty much had the same people that was offering me at Bellport. Okay. Yeah, and I kept that same 5 really, and added LSU along the way. But The recruitment process was stressful. That's why I kind of went to IMG, because I didn't want to make that decision yet.
Yeah.
I was like...
And you're young. You're what, 17, 18?
Yeah, I was 17.
Yeah.
So I was a younger senior. And I was like, I see everybody reclassifying. We're like, that's when reclassifying was like popular.
Yeah.
Like everybody's like, I'm reclassifying.
I did it,
Yeah. Everybody's like, I'm reclassifying. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be playing against these grown women, and I'm 17, I'm frowny. Like, I have no muscle, I've never lifted a weight in my life. I said, you know what, I need to, you know, experience something else. Bellport was cool, but I wanted to experience like a college lifestyle, kind of. So it was like pre-college, before college. That's what IMG was.
So how was IMG? I know it's one of the best, you know, prep schools in America, best facilities, national schedule. You're playing against JUCOs mostly, right?
Mm-hmm. That's all we played against.
So yeah, how was your experience at IMG, and you know, how much do you think your game took another step from Bellport to IMG with the development and everything?
Yeah, IMG was literally probably, it's better than some colleges I've been to. It's better than some colleges I've been to. We had a straight college schedule. We played straight JUCOs, and they were top JUCOs because they were
Florida. Yeah,
it's Florida.
Yeah, Region 8's like the best.
So these were girls that were going to D1 schools.
They just didn't have the grades initially, or they're just trying to get higher. Yeah.
So it was just like another step that I had to take, and then like playing with girls who had more understanding. They were stronger, they were faster, but still having to be that versatile player, it just took it to another level. It was like I went from averaging 33 in high school to averaging 35 at IMG, and it was just like, it was just going up. Like I remember Team Mac was supposed to come to one of my games at IMG, and I had dropped 55.
Who'd y'all play?
We played, I think it was Miami-Dade.
Okay.
I think it's Miami-Dade. But it was IMG, I was having a ball.
Yeah.
I swear, but it really prepared me. And then I had a coach who really, she played in the WNBA. She played at Texas. And she coached in the WNBA.
Okay.
So it was like, I had someone who I can really, you know, listen to
and learn and really, trust them with the things that they were telling you.
Exactly.
And teaching you. And that's what you need, especially at that prep year, because a lot of people go there as like a last chance. It wasn't your last chance to get a school, obviously, but you were using it as another year to develop your game and really excel at the Division I level. So I feel like that was definitely a good decision going to IMG, of course.
Yeah, I do not regret it at all. IMG, it definitely prepares you. Like and then just being in that environment, like you're in such a successful environment. You wake up at 5, you see tennis players on the court training at 5 a.m.
Yeah, everyone has the same
football.
goal. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it's
so
crazy.
It pushes you to want to do better, and if you're not doing it, you feel like you're slacking or you're.
Yeah, you shouldn't be there.
Yeah, why am I here if I'm not gonna? No, that's good though. So coming out of IMG, what was your top 5 or top 6? So you said LSU was in there. So who else was in there?
LSU, Georgia Tech, Texas Tech, Rutgers, and I think Florida.
Okay.
I'm not sure on that 5th one. I do not remember.
Okay.
I remember just cutting it down to 3, and those were the 3 I was rocking with.
And what visits did you take?
I took Georgia Tech twice, actually.
Really? I've been there. Actually, I watched a girls' practice. I was visiting a JUCO in Georgia, so I flew into Atlanta, and he's cool with the girls' coach there. So while we were waiting to pick up another kid, we went and watched the girls' practice in the Dome in Georgia.
Yeah.
It was a nice campus. It was like right in downtown Atlanta.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. LSU, I went there. That was probably my favorite visit.
Really? Yeah.
Definitely.
A lot of people from New York there. Charles is there. My boy Marlon. I don't know if you know Marlon.
I don't remember Marlon.
He's the one, he's like all over ESPN, like head at the rim when Tremont Waters was like throwing the oops against Kentucky. He's from Mount Vernon. But yeah, he went to Panola in Texas, and then he went to LSU.
Yeah, a lot of people are going.
Yeah, no, LSU is definitely on
the spot. I did a visit with Rutgers. I think I did unofficial and official with Rutgers.
Okay.
After that, I definitely went to Texas Tech.
Yeah.
It wasn't my favorite visit, but there was just something that, you know, stuck with me. I think they were the only people that took me to the gym at 12 a.m. And that spoke volumes to me. I think that's one of the main reasons I committed to Texas Tech, actually.
Yeah.
And I don't remember any more visits.
Okay. So, yeah, Texas Tech, I could relate with West Texas. My last year, I just went to West Texas, and I remember.
Culture shock.
Yeah,
right?
you were talking about that when I was talking to you before, and you were saying, you know, how different it was. And it's completely different lifestyle over there, like night and day from East Coast to West Texas. And that was Lubbock. So I was an hour out of Lubbock. I don't know, Big Spring.
I've heard of that.
Okay, yeah. So I was about an hour out of Lubbock. A bunch of my teammates went to Texas Tech a few nights. So, yeah. So how was your experience there at Texas Tech, and lifestyle-wise, and then obviously basketball? Basketball seemed fine. But
Yeah.
it seemed like more off the court was the deciding factor, right?
Well, I was like an anti-social person at Texas Tech. I didn't really like Texas people.
No.
So I think I've had like 2-3 friends outside of.
Really?
And Texas Tech is a huge school.
Yeah, no, like my teachers at Howard were still enrolled in school at Texas Tech, like to finish in their masters and different degrees.
Yep.
Yeah, Texas Tech is
huge. So it's like I felt like a small fish in a big pond. Like that's exactly how I felt. I was like, all I did was go home after working out, and I'd be on my PlayStation and I'd call my parents.
Yeah.
That's
So
it.
you're miserable there?
Yeah, I wouldn't say miserable, but I would say most of it was my fault. I didn't branch out. You know, I didn't try to meet new people. I was just stuck in my basketball zone. So I was just like, you know, I don't really need friends. And it kind of made my experience not so great there. Like, so I don't regret it. I mean, I felt like I could have stayed and did it 4 years, but it just felt a little too far. Like I didn't feel like I was growing there, and there was no like place for me there, like a safe haven kind of.
Right.
You know. Yeah, I remember like even during the boys' games, I would be in the gym after halftime. I would go to the practice gym because in the arena we have the main gym. It's huge, but outside, like literally a couple steps out is our practice gym. So I would, right after halftime, I would go right to the practice gym.
Work out.
Yeah. So that's how. Yeah, it was bad. I didn't have no friends, but it was still cool because the people that I did meet, you know, they were serious. Like you know, I met some good athletes. You know, they're pretty good, and the friends that I did, you know, like I still talk to Say. She was my point guard there. You know, she's way ahead of her time. You know, she has a lot of wisdom, and her family has a lot of wisdom. So, you know, the people that I did meet, we're still keeping contact.
That's good. So at Texas Tech, what, you were all rookie team, Big 12?
Well, I just missed it.
Really?
Yeah.
So what honor, did you receive any honors at Texas Tech?
Just mostly like the player of the weeks, the freshman of the weeks, all that stuff. Yeah, that was another reason. I just felt like it was a big league.
Big 12, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a big league, like just dedicated towards their centers. They love their centers out there. And I felt like the style of play, you know, it was more traditional. Like I couldn't find ways to score in that type of style. You know, it was more ISOs instead of like letting me create, you know.
Play, yeah. So going from after your freshman year at Texas Tech, what made you, you know, what was like the deciding factor where it's like, all right, you know, my best bet is to get out of here and explore other options, and then, you know, what were your options after that, and what were your choices?
Really, I just wanted to go to a school that kind of understood like the type of guard play, and I wanted to be close to home. So it was just like my 3 schools that I were looking at was St. John's, Rutgers, and Ohio State. Okay. So those are the only 3 schools I even considered. Really? Yeah, I didn't even consider anybody else. And because I knew the tradition of their guard play. You know, you have Kelsey Mitchell coming out of Ohio State. Then you have, you know, the elite Rutgers guards. They're known for their guards. And then St. John's is like, you playing in New York City.
Yeah,
like
New York guard,
they know New York guard play. So I just wanted to be with someone, be in a program that understood me. And they've all been literally watching me since, 6th, 7th grade. And I think Rutgers was like one of my first offers too. So they was riding for a long time. I was like, I got to give them a chance, give them a shot.
Coach Stringer, obviously, is legendary coach, Do you feel, I don't know, she always wanted you, of course, you chose Texas Tech over them initially, so obviously it didn't leave a bad taste in her mouth, that must have been a good feeling that she still wanted you, and I'm sure that was a deciding factor for you. It was like, all right, I didn't choose to go there at first, now I'm leaving Texas Tech, and now they're still opening, with open arms, welcoming me with open arms. So how was that relationship with Coach Stringer and playing for her at Rutgers?
It was like mother and daughter relationship.
Really?
Yeah, Coach Stringer is like a mother to all of her players. And she leaves that, like, I bet you if you ask everyone on the team, they're gonna say one of their main reasons, if not the main reason, is Coach Stringer. And the impact she has. It just seems like that old wise lady that, like, just spreads fruit, like just gives you like just the token to be the best you can be, and she's just so motivating the way she talks, and just the knowledge that she has is, it's proven, it's proven, and she's proven. So it's just like, where can you go wrong? She's gonna give you the opportunity as long as you work hard. But she's also gonna push you to be the best person you could be off the court, and you don't really get that everywhere else.
No, not at all.
So it was like a win-win. It was like after that, I kind of just knew I wanted to go there. I just kept my options open. Like, I knew I was going to Rutgers, but I just kept my options open just in case.
Just in case.
Yeah.
So you get there. So obviously you had to sit out. How was your redshirt year there?
My redshirt year was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to, really, because Coach Stringer's system is really one of the hardest systems to walk into. You, especially as a transfer or a graduate transfer, you can't walk in that system and, think you know it.
And thrive, yeah.
Yeah, you think you know something, and she comes in and she's like, nope, you don't know nothing. You know nothing my way or the highway. And it was cool because that redshirt year, literally all I did was watch. Just watch, study, and I pick up on things pretty fast anyway. So having a whole year under my belt, it was just like, once I got in the system, it's like I knew what I was doing.
Okay.
And I already felt like I was doing it for years. Like, just constantly meditating and watching it it was good to sit back for a year.
Yeah, that was probably best thing for you, to sit out 1 year and then come in there.
Yeah, it's hard for any hooper to sit there and just watch people play basketball games while you're just sitting on the bench. Yeah. But like, if you don't, think of it as a negative, and you try to find positive things in it, you'll be able to thrive, and actually develop yourself way better than, being on the court.
Yeah, I've learned that just watching older guys and watching pro guys and just watching Division I basketball. You learn so much if you just really sit back and just pay attention to detail, and I'm sure you learn so much from Coach Stringer. So would you say she's the best coach you ever had?
Yeah.
Yeah, hands down?
Yeah, definitely. Usually the best coaches and, kind of their best players, they kind of don't even agree a lot.
Butt heads a lot?
Yeah, we butt heads a lot, but
it's on a mutual level where it's like you guys get each other. So, but I feel like that's good. I know there's head coaches that have assistants as like yes men. Yeah. I never thought that worked. I feel like an assistant, you should challenge the head coach. And not saying players should challenge their coaches and stuff like that, but if you're the best player in the team or your coach respects you as a player, you should be able to voice your opinion and say how you feel sometimes, because everyone's human, not always right. So that's good that you had that relationship with her where, she would hear you out and listen. So So you sat out your sophomore year in the classroom, and then you played your last 2 years at Rutgers. So how was the difference between the Big 12 and the Big 10, the level and the play style, everything?
I think the Big 10 kind of speeded up. It became more of a guard, system. Just watching all the teams, they're all like they all kind of like value their guard play a lot more. They have great bigs in the Big 10, but the guard play is what the Big 10 is known for. I think they do have, other than that, it's not much of a difference except for the strength in the Big 12.
Big 12 is probably,
Yeah, them girls are strong.
Yeah.
But other than that, I feel like they were pretty much both solid. I think the Big 10 this year, that we were gonna have about 8 teams in the tournament.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to play your sophomore? Did you guys make the tournament?
We did make the tournament.
Okay.
We got knocked out first round.
Who'd y'all play?
We played Buffalo. Got knocked out first time. Yeah.
And y'all were a higher seed?
Mm-hmm.
I think I filled out a bracket. I always fill out like a women's side bracket, and I usually do well because I don't watch that much, but I think I remember that matchup, and I definitely picked you guys to win.
Yeah.
So that was first round, you said?
Yeah, and we were supposed to get, redeem ourselves this year, but
Coronavirus.
Yeah. So.
And how'd you guys do this year?
Well, we finished 5th in the Big 10.
Okay.
It was a tough league this year because it was just like there was no powerhouse. It was like everybody could beat everybody on
any given night. Yeah.
Every given night, and that's what I like about the Big 10.
That you never know what's going to
always
happen.
Competitive.
Yeah.
Always.
Did you guys get to do the Big 10 tournament, or was it?
We actually.
Oh, you did, really?
Yeah.
I know some conferences didn't get to do their tournaments, right? Well, like ACC didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? Big East, I think, shut theirs down, right?
Yeah.
And then.
Because they started later. Yeah, we actually finished our tournament.
So who won the Big 10 this year?
The Big 10, Maryland won.
Really?
Yeah, Maryland won the Big 10, but like literally once we came back, our men's team went down there to start, and they were literally about to start their game, and that's when it shut down.
Wow.
Just about to start the game. No fans, no nothing in the stands, and they were warming up, and we're looking at the screen, and it just said game canceled.
Really?
Yeah, it's sick.
Wow.
It was definitely a tough transition, but it was like I kind of knew it was gonna get canceled. I was already preparing my mind for it.
Yeah, because once one conference did it, everyone was gonna follow. It's not like one person was gonna play their
tournament,
or get to March Madness and stuff like that. Going from now junior year, you were projected to get drafted this year. You were, right?
Yeah.
First round.
Well, there was a couple. Well, first round it's 1 through 12.
12, right?
Yeah. So I had a couple of draft boards list me at 6 to Minnesota. A couple had me at 9 going to Dallas and getting traded, I think, to Phoenix. And a couple had me at 12 going to Dallas too. So I didn't see any other draft boards but those 3. I still wasn't convinced though, but a lot of people had me projected going first. I talked to a couple coaches, but it wasn't definite for me.
Yeah.
That's why, and I kind of prayed on it, and I just, I felt like it didn't really matter whether I went first or second round. I felt like I was still good enough to make a team regardless.
As long as you're there, yeah.
Yeah, but just praying about it, God told me, He said, you have more work to do at Rutgers, and your mission's not done there. So that's what I did. I said, I'm just gonna pull out. It was literally like 30 minutes before the draft deadline. Yeah. And I was just like, just show me a sign. I think I read a scripture, and it was just like talking about patience, and it spoke to me right there in that moment. And I was just like, all right, I know what I gotta do.
How did Coach Stringer feel about your decision?
Oh, they loved it.
So she was So was she? Do you feel like she was holding you back at all? Like, where she wants you to come back, or like would she like do what's best for you?
Like little hints, like, yeah, you should stay. You know, you're gonna, you know, LA just called me. They're like, you're definitely top 5 next year. All that stuff, you know, bubbling my head up.
Yeah.
All that stuff, and I was like, I'm not buying it. Like, it actually was like the recruiting process all over again, because I had agents and coaches telling me one thing, and then I had my coaches and former players telling me another thing, and it was just like, this is all overwhelming. So at one point I shut them all out. Right. And I said, stop contacting me for a week, and I was like, I have to focus. Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna listen to what you think is best for me. I'm just gonna, you know, pray on it, meditate on it, keep working, and eventually it'll come to me, and that's exactly what it did. But Coach Stringer and the staff, they were like ecstatic. They were like, yeah, we got her for another year. Yeah. But you know, as a coach should, you know, if your leading scorer comes back, you're like, yeah.
No, that's great.
Especially if they're gonna have a young team next year, so you want that vet coming back, so you can kind of show them the ropes. Like, you got a great freshman class coming in next year, and you know, having somebody, you know, like me and the other 3 players coming back just to show the ropes, and then, you know, they take off.
Now they'll, you know, pass the torch down, and now they'll keep it rolling. Do you have anyone else on your team projected in the draft? Might?
I feel like we have potential draftees, because you never know with Rutgers. It's just like, the history we have here is just like, you never know who's gonna make it. You know, we had people undrafted who turned into MVPs. We had people who were high drafted still in the league. We still have people who were drafted almost 15 years ago still in the league.
Really?
So it's like, we have such a great reputation as Rutgers guards, Rutgers posts. Is just like the foundation that's set. You never know. A team could pick you up off anything.
Yeah. Do you have a preferred destination in the WNBA, or?
Of course, New York.
You want to play for Liberty?
I would love to play for the Liberty. That would be like a dream come true, because I grew up going to almost every Liberty game, watching Cappie play. Before I even knew she came from Rutgers, I fell in love with Cappie. I really enjoyed watching Bria play for the Liberty for that time before she got traded, and you know, I just feel like New York is like my home. Like, I would love just to play in front of my family and just stay close. I think if it wasn't New York, I would just love to be in the, you know, a situation that would let me develop, you know.
So location really doesn't matter?
Yeah, location doesn't matter. I just want to win and just be able to develop.
Yeah. With everything going on, you know, in the WNBA right now, like, what are your thoughts on that, with, you know, some players' decisions sitting out for either, you know, medical reasons, coronavirus reasons, or the justice reasons, and where do you stand on that? And if, say you were in this situation, you know, how would you feel?
I stand with all of them, to be honest. I don't judge anyone on their decision whether to play or not. Personally, I would love to play. That's why I'm hoping our season doesn't get canceled or anything happens to our season, because I want to play. Because I just hate not being around the game. That's just me. But I don't knock anybody for sitting out for any personal reasons, health reasons. If they're just not even comfortable being on the court with people at this point, like, it's just, you have to do what's comfortable for you, what you think is okay. The social justice reform reasons, you know, I personally admire them for sitting out. I think that, you know, they're doing really good work. Like Tasha Cloud, I know her personally, and the girl's amazing, like just an amazing human being. And, you know, to sit out after winning a WNBA championship, after hitting the game winner in the championship, like, that takes a lot. It takes a lot to sit out. It takes a lot for a person to do that, and that doesn't get highlighted enough or, you know, respected enough. I think in this moment, you know, you have a lot of people standing with her, which is great, but there's also a lot of people against her too. These moments, like, it's just really uncertain times, I just applaud them all for it.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I don't take it personal against anyone with their decision. Anything that, you got to do what you think is best for you. And even you saw Kyrie donate, or he's, what is it, like 1.5 million, I think he's gonna put towards the WNBA, or salaries and everything, so that's huge.
You see how God works in mysterious ways, for real. He's always on time, so you think you might be doing something that could possibly hurt you, and he throws something in there like, no, I got you.
Yeah,
like,
everything happens for a reason.
Yep.
But yeah, no, that's pretty much it. So that's been your timeline of, from putting the ball in your hands and up until now, where you're going to be a first-round draft pick next year, and hopefully you can play this season. I'm sure you want to play your grad. It's going to be a grad year, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so, and this is going to be obviously probably the biggest moment of your life coming up, right? Draft night and everything, and so
it's overwhelming at sometimes, because like that's all I can think about. So like my mind has become like obsessed with it to the point where like I can't really function without thinking about it.
Yeah.
But that just goes to show like I really just want it that bad,
And this has been obviously your goal since.
Yeah. So why stop now?
Yeah.
You put so much work in, it's like, why stop? But that's all the process, really. You just have to keep fighting through it and keep growing. Like it's crazy, talking about this stuff and seeing a whole transformation from being in 6th grade, not knowing, just saying what I want, and now it's like kind of just
coming to fruition.
Yeah. I've always been like that confident person. That's why my parents took me so serious, because I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play in the WNBA, like I'm gonna be the next Candace Parker. And some people would be thinking that's crazy, but then now it's coming into light, and they're like, oh yeah, she was serious.
Yeah.
She's serious, like it's happening.
Yeah.
And we're watching it.
Yeah, the ones that are like that when they're growing up, you see it happen so much, where they're 8, 9, 10 years old. Like, what do you want to do when you're older? I want to play in the NBA. I want to play in the WNBA. And if you're serious about it, a lot of people, not everyone gets the opportunity, but you've been blessed to keep everything, rolling with schools and doing what you had to do at every stop that you've been at. And I just think it's, crazy, because I couldn't imagine, hearing your name called like on draft night. Like I watched, watching the NBA draft, watching WNBA draft, and just seeing their reactions, their family's reactions.
Yeah.
It's like no other. I get chills like every time I watch it, just because it's a once in a lifetime thing. And it's
really a life investment. You literally invested your time, your whole life,
right,
for this moment. And sometimes you like doubt it, like I'm gonna ever get there, and then you just watch it unfold. Like that's just a crazy process. It's beautiful though. It's beautiful because you have to really live in the moment, and a lot of people they're stuck on futuristic, and they're stuck on the past, and they're never living in the moment. And that's what holds them back. You have to really focus on each moment, each second, like every single day, and that's a hard thing to do consistently.
That's something I've been trying, because worrying about tomorrow messes up your today, and I feel if you're always looking ahead, then you're not getting better in that, like you said, in that moment. And I feel if you take every moment very serious, and every workout, every jump shot, anything, if you take it serious in that moment, it's gonna get you to where you want to be if you stay consistent with your work.
Yeah.
And you've done that. But other than that, I mean, we're gonna follow your progress with hopefully this season happens, and we'll definitely, stay updated with how you're doing, and then the whole draft process. And we'd love to have you back on after all that happens. I'm sure me and Nikki will come to a game this year. She lives in Newark, so we're right there.
Oh, she's right there, 20 minutes away.
I'm sure we'll come to a game. But other than that, I mean, I want to just, thank you for coming on, and definitely been a pleasure. Oh, one last thing. How was my boy Corey Sanders at Rutgers? That was one thing I wanted to ask you before we wrap up.
Yo, Corey is a clown.
Okay.
He's definitely interesting.
Yeah, because I watched all his, YouTube, day in life, all that stuff.
Definitely interesting. Nah, he's dope. I like him because he's his own person and he's never changed. I love the way he is with his daughter. And then you just look at him, how he acts just like as a family person. And it's just, it kind of warms your heart, because you wouldn't think a person like Corey would be like that.
Right.
But he's the total opposite. He's very humble. He works hard, and that's really all you can ask for, meeting a person, and he's kind, and that's really it. He's a great person.
Yeah, you're probably the only person that I know personally that's been in contact with him. And growing up, I remember just watching him all the time, so.
Yeah, he's cool, he's cool.
No, but that's good. But yeah, thank you again for coming on, and we'll definitely be in touch, and we'll, like I said, keep track of your progress and development with the whole draft process and everything. So yeah, thank you again.
All right, thanks for having me.